I know that your trajectory last year, you had some injury issues at the beginning, and then it seemingly you felt better in the middle of the season, then really turned it on at the end of the year, especially in the playoffs. What do you think was the difference from that like middle stretch where you started to feel comfortable, and then the success you were able to have at the end there of 2019?
Um, I think just blocking out the noise and just playing football. Um, I feel like that's important usually at the end of the season, though. Because that's that change where stuff started happening. You got teams that's declining, you got play that's declining, or you got teams that's arising to the occasion of the season. You got players that's arising to the occasion of the season. So I feel like that was one of those things.
Go next to Harold Kuntz. Go ahead, Harold.
Frank, obviously your production's not where you wanted to be individually and as a defensive line. With all the work you guys put into it and you honing your craft, how disappointing is it to you that you guys are just a little bit less of where you want to be going forward at this season?
I feel like, to me, I care more about when, you know what I'm saying, we go player like myself, other players, few other players in the room. When you used to success, it's not nothing new to you. Like, I'm used to success. I'm used to winning. I'm used to like achieving all the numbers, the sacks and all that stuff. So getting another sack, getting another 5, 10 sacks ain't nothing new to me. You know what I'm saying? I've been there. I've done that. The only thing that I haven't done is win 2 Super Bowls. The only thing that I haven't done is complete the season, go 15-1. You know what I'm saying? Or, finish as strong as we can. Yeah, of course, you always want, as a competitor, you always want the individual things to be better, but you always want to play games better. You want to do things like that better. But, only thing that I can really appreciate, just being a part of this team is, our willingness to win, and our willingness to not be selfish. We're real selfless. So, you don't find a lot of guys really, into the whole stat game. When we the Kansas City Chiefs, we the champs, and we winning. So at the end of the day, I feel like that's more important than anything.
Go next to Aaron Ladd. Go ahead, Aaron.
Hey, man, I know you're a sports fan, and I'm just curious. You talk about blocking out the noise a lot. I feel like a comparison I've heard a lot this year is between this year's Chiefs team and that 72-win Warriors team. I'm curious what you think about that comparison.
Yeah, at the end of the day, they're gonna talk about y'all good or bad. You know what I'm saying? When we was the Chiefs last year, where everybody was talking about us bad, you know what I mean? Nobody expected us to do what we did, only we did, and that was the best thing about it. Just like what we can do. I know what I'm capable of. And we got players on our team who are capable to go out there at any point, you know what I mean, and have fun and play a game of their lives, play, just things like that. But when you got, like you just said, when you can block out that noise, when you can take out the individuality of the game and enjoy the game for being a team sport, I feel like that's the best part about everything.
Let's go next to Seren Petro. Go ahead, Seren.
Frank, for getting to the quarterback, the whole pass rush game of what you do, like how would you describe what is the most important part, right? You're a guy, there's some analytics out there that say you've got one of the best get-offs, right? So you're quick off the line, but how much of it's that? How much of it's a secondary move? How much of it's the hand fighting? What are the elements that go into making a successful pass rush?
Number one is, I feel like number one is it starts with the get-off. Is beating your man to the point, is getting to a point. A lot of that stuff in there is like whatever a guy's, technique is and stuff like that, whatever he uses to be his best at what he does in the game. Other things can play a huge, point is the game plan. A lot has to do with game plan as well. You know what I mean? When you got certain things, you got stunts, or you might be dropping, or you might be doing this, that, and the third. That plays a large part in your role on what you're doing on that particular down and distance. What else? We can go on all day about pass rushing, man. I can talk to you about hours about it. But yeah, it's just like I said, it's being a man to the point. It's violent hands, using violent hands, hand-eye coordination, knowing where the quarterback is going to be, knowing where his point is, where he stops, and knowing where he steps up. If it's a quarterback who steps up in the pocket, like when we're playing a guy like Tom Brady, where if you allow him to step up in the pocket, he's very efficient compared to playing other guys like, Lamar Jackson, to where it's like when this guy's scrambling out the pocket to the right, he's very efficient. He's making guys miss left and right if you watch it commonly through the league. compared like a Deshaun Watson when you closing in, making tackles and making plays, just to complete the wrap up, to wrap him up and make that play because he's a wizard at getting out, So it's things like that, the little things that people might not necessarily, watch or know about, that goes into a lot about, just pass rush.
Go next to Sam McDowell. Go ahead, Sam.
Hey, Frank. From talking to you over the past years, it's pretty clear you put a lot on yourself. So stats aside, how do you just feel this year's going for you?
I feel like it's going all right. I feel like it can always be better. But I got more years in this game. I take everything. I'm very competitive. So, of course, I want to be at the top. I know how hard I work and what I do to put into this game. But I know that it come. My coaches know, they understand me. They know how I am, especially when it comes to my competitive nature. I want to be the best. That's all I care about. I don't care about nothing else. I don't care about second place. I don't care about, the middle in between. I want to be the best. That's all I care about.
Got time for a couple more guys. We'll go Herbie and then Nate. Go ahead, Herbie.
Hey, Frank, sort of follow up on what Seren was asking you about some of the elements. When you line up in your mind, do you know before the snap if you're going to use a chop rip, a stab club, a double arm swipe? I mean, what do you know? What goes through your mind process when you develop the mentality? I'm gonna get a sack here.
Honestly, I don't pre-plan a move. I got a large skill set of moves. It's just really about timing. It's about when I can use those moves, and at the rate, you got to be comfortable in the game. You got to get into a rhythm. A lot to do with the like you said, going off his question. It's I didn't mention rhythm. It's rhythm. You got to get into the flow of the game, understand what your opponent is doing, things like that. And the faster you can get into that rhythm, like if I figure you out, it's over with. Every lineman in the world knows that about me. Every tackle knows that. Like, I'm gonna figure you out. If I figure out, it's over with for you. And this year it's just you got some difficulties here and there. Even with last year, it's just some difficulties here and there because you got to play within the game plan. I'm a team player. I'm not about to go out of the game plan to make a play. You see a lot of that stuff in football today, where you got guys, they want to be the show. They want to go. They want that sack so bad. They chasing sacks. They doing stuff like that, and you see it affect a team. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing that I told myself. I pride myself on being as a team player. Team first before Frank. I've gotten there. I gotten to where I am today by being a great teammate, not being a great individual player, to keep it real. I've had players along my career who's helped me, be the best teammate I can be. Chris Jones more recently, some of my younger guys, Mike Dana. I got Tyrann Mathieu, just my teammates. Then in the past, Jaron Reed. I had Michael Bennett, Cliff Averill. I've had guys who legitimately helped me become, the football player I am today. And, that didn't come off being an individual. That came off solely being a good teammate.
We'll go last to Nate Taylor. Go ahead, Nate.
Hey, Frank, I got two questions for you, man. The first is, when you watch yourself on tape, what do you feel like you're doing well? And then what is there that sort of motivates you that you want to improve on? And then Brad will have a follow-up.
I'm doing some things well. I feel like I'm doing there's a lot of things that can always improve on though. I just feel like just using hands, just being more aggressive, just winning every rep I get. You gotta win the reps you do get, or you got those one-on-one pass rushes, or those those 4-man pass rushes, stuff like that. Because at times it's just throughout the game, sometimes you never know how a game is gonna go, whether it's on offense, whether it's on defense. You can't control the calls as a player, but at the end of the day, it's just doing your job to the best of your ability. And I feel like at any time I can always do that, way better. It's my job in general.
Yeah. And lastly, you did have a couple meetings with Tom Brady in last week's game, a couple penalties. Is part of that retribution for what the Bucs did previously with Patrick Mahomes in terms of their, roughing the passer penalty, or was there something there that you've seen on film that you need to correct?
I ain't correcting nothing. I'm gonna hit him again. That was my first two roughing the passer penalties in my career. I owe some more. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool with you, all right. I don't owe no more for this year. I told my coach, I told Coach Spags, I ain't gonna do no more this year. Probably next year, not this year.